Hello, good evening. It's Lemurian Donna Carroll. I hope you're all doing well. I just finished a session. Normally I don't work on Sundays, but today was an exception, so I'm on time today. Yay! You knew I could do it. Anyhow, I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying January. Today was a beautiful day here, nice and sunny, um, although it has been cold of late. Um, I'm still planning on moving this summer, and I can't decide where to move. I originally wanted to go to Oregon, but considering the cost of living up there, I'm not sure that's the best choice. Plus, they're kind of crazy when it comes to masks and vaccines. I'm also thinking about Arkansas, Texas, Florida. Um, If you have any good ideas, let me know. I'm looking for a place that's affordable. Uh, that means I'm not going to be moving to New York or California. Anyhow, today or tonight, I thought I would channel an Andromedan captain, spaceship captain, see what he has to tell us about the ascension from his perspective. I used to see a lot of spaceships back in the day. I would say maybe 15 years ago. I don't know. Oh, no, I know. I know exactly when it started. Yeah, it started about 15 years ago in the year uh, 2003 is when I first saw my first spaceship. And I saw this huge silver-colored ship right outside of Santa Fe, right above the Santa Fe Opera House. And it was really bright silver, and it was not shaped like a saucer. It had a bulge on the top of the ship and a bulge at the bottom of the ship, and it was a large ship. And I assume it was Pleiadian, but I had to do a double take because when I saw it, I remember I was shaking my head like, what? This can't be. And then I looked up again and it was still there, and then it disappeared right in front of me. And after that first sighting, I saw many ships, many, many ships. They were always bright silver, uh, typically during the daytime. I didn't see any craft at night. And I remember when I was having a really hard time, um, probably around 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, I would see them regularly. I would take a walk and I would look up and there would be a spaceship. So I've also seen light ships go into the side of a mountain here, but most of the ships I've seen have been bright silver in the daytime. And I think I saw my last one probably about a year ago. I don't see them so much anymore. I feel like at one time they wanted to make themselves known to me. I was going through hard times, and I feel like they wanted to tell me, very consciously, hey, we're here, we're here, we're going to help you, don't despair, that kind of thing. Uh, and so I also saw, I was talking about my trip to southern New Mexico, which was about 10 years ago, maybe longer, and I was talking about the cryptoid footprints that I saw. I also saw a huge pile of poop from that creature. Huge. I mean, it was like big poop. And my sister and I both saw that. And then this woman comes out of nowhere and says, oh, that must have been some creature. And I was like, yeah. And then she kind of walked off, and I'm like, where did she come from? But anyhow, I forgot about that until after I recounted the story. But on that trip, I also saw a spaceship. I was driving through the Lincoln National Forest, but I came to realize later that it wasn't a real spaceship. It was a hologram. It was a film. It was the military down there, Holloman Air Force Base. I'm not sure what's down there, but I got the message that they were creating a fake spaceship, and it was just basically a film in the sky that they put out. So I've seen fake spaceships too, but I can always tell the real ones. I mean, the real ones look real. And one time I was driving to meditation, and I was driving down a road that I live very close to, and I looked up, and there was a huge mothership right above me, and it took up the whole sky. There was very few pieces of the blue sky that I could see, uh, and the ship was just freaking huge, and it was right above the city where I live. And then I looked up again, and it was gone. So I've probably seen 60 or 70 ships. I've seen a lot of them. So they're out there. I haven't seen them recently, but I also know that there's some Pleiadian ships along the west coast above the ocean. They kind of hang out there for some reason, probably to protect the coastlines. Anyhow, so today, getting back on track, I thought I would channel one of the captains of those ships, and in particular, I'd like to channel an Andromedan. Oh, hey, Pamela, how are you? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. So Andromeda is the galaxy that is adjacent to ours, and there are some Andromedans. I'm sorry, I'm really slow. I still think I'm spaced out from my session that I just did. There are some Andromedans here, and of all the people that I've done readings for, I have given readings to 2 Andromedans. Both were female, and both were, you know, about my age. So there are some that are incarnated here, but there's not that many. There's many more Pleiadians. Pleiadians are the most common ET that you'll find. There's more Sirians than Andromedans, and even more Arcturians. So, and I don't know how I know that these people came from this star, but my guides tell me, or I read the Akash or whatever, but it's very clear. Clear as a bell. And most people, I can tell what their background is. Some are harder to read than others. Some people come from places that I'm not aware of, or that we don't have a name for. So they're always kind of tricky to figure out. But I came through the Pleiadian gate. The Pleiadian star is where I came through. So that I align more with the Pleiadian energy, but I've definitely read for different ET groups. And the Andromedans, the 2 that I've met are very nice. The ones that I met here are very nice, but what I want to do tonight is channel one that is from the other dimensions, working near Earth or by Earth, and see what he has to say. So, and I should tell you that I don't listen to other channels or listen to the news out there from the abductees and the contactees and whatever, because one reason is because I don't really want to get influenced in my channeling. You know, I think it's better to stay pure, and so I try to do that. But I did listen to a tape of Lowell Johnson. It was on the Danny Henderson show, and I was just fascinated with that because he actually went inside the city of Telos and got to see that Lemurian city underground. Lucky Lowell. So he gave a report of his travels, and I thought that was very interesting. And this was, he went there in the summer of 2020, and I had never heard of anyone that actually went to Telos and came back and reported on it. So I did listen to that. And since I'm Lemurian, of course, I'm interested in everything Lemurian. And most of the Lemurians that existed in ancient Lemuria were Pleiadians, although not all of them, okay? But I think the Pleiadians made up the bulk of Lemuria. All right, so I want to say hello to Angelique, and I want to say I hope you're all feeling well, doing well. I myself have been a little depressed of late. It helps when I channel because then I get out of that energy. So that's what we're going to do. I'm depressed because I'm like, I just want to be on the other side of all this. It's like, for me, it's taking too long. I'm running out of patience. And I know there's a few people that feel that way. So anyhow, but I don't have any control over it. So I just have to deal with it, how long it's taking to get to the other side of all of this. Okay, so if you will, just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I want to invoke my highest and best guides tonight, the archangels, the 4 archangels. I want to invoke thousands and thousands of warrior protection angels all around me and around you and anyone else that ever watches this video. May you be protected. Please block all negative entities, energies, and thought forms from this space. I would like to bring in the Andromedans, the ones that I know or that I work with or that I'm associated with. And I'm also asking to bring in a special guest speaker, an Andromedan ship captain, and I ask him to give us some information about his galaxy, about his work here on Earth, his life, etc., etc. And so I'm going to ask to leave my body, and we ask to bring him in. Greetings. Yes, I am an Andromedan who is currently working on a ship. I am the captain of the ship that is working in your solar system. Right now, I am en route to Jupiter, and we are taking the slow way. You can go the fast way or the slow way. You can get to Jupiter very, very quickly if you go through a certain hole in the space-time continuum, or you can go the slow way. Today we are going the slow way, and we are inspecting the different planets. So before Jupiter, I was at Venus. We were circling the sun. We were looking at Mercury, and then we went from planet to planet, and we are going to wind up in Jupiter, and I am going there for a meeting. And the meeting is with other Andromedans who are coming from the Andromedan galaxy to meet with me and some others so that they can hear my report on the progress of Earth's ascension, really the progress of the ascension of this solar system in the Milky Way galaxy. So I am looking forward to meeting with them and talking with them and giving them my report, and they will take it back to our galaxy, Andromeda. Of course, it's a huge galaxy with many planets, and we are just one group of the beings that live there, but they are taking it back to the council there. They wanted to meet with me and my crew in person. Sometimes it is good to connect via telecommunication or by video, but sometimes it is good to connect face to face. And Jupiter is used as a connection point for different ETs from the Milky Way and from Andromeda and also other galaxies to meet and convene and gather information. I have been on duty or working with your civilization for the last 5 years of Earth time. I was assigned to the Earth rotation, if you will, after going through pilot and navigational school in Andromeda. And I came here 5 years ago as a co-captain or underneath another Andromedan captain, and he left 3 Earth years ago, and I took over the ship. The ship is not overly large, but not overly small. It houses 7 beings comfortably. And as I have aforementioned, we travel the Earth solar system to check up on the planets and take measurements of the gases in the atmosphere, scientific measurements. I do not do that. I run the ship and pilot the ship, but we have Andromedan scientists on board who are collecting data. That is one of our main roles here. So we are acting as an emissary of light from our galaxy to your galaxy. We are more of a scientific craft. We are not actively engaged in protection of planets, the Earth, and other star systems, but there are Andromedan ships that do that type of work here. They are super fast, superly evolved technically, and large. These ships have very advanced defense mechanisms and also weaponry on them to fight any Draco or reptilian attack. So these ships have been here as well, and they are still here protecting this solar system and this galaxy from nefarious intervention. And these ships have been here longer than my ship has been here, which is 5 Earth years. So I was born on a small planet and the Andromedan galaxy. I am young for an Andromedan, meaning that I am only a few hundred Earth years. I am currently a few hundred Earth years. Time is not the same in our home star. Time moves faster there. The frequency is higher there, and we age faster. So I'm actually about 2,400 Earth years old, which is not that old for an Andromedan where I'm from. I wanted to get into space travel and be a captain or a pilot of a ship from a very young age. And because I knew that, and because it was decided by my family and others that I was well suited for this job, after going to school, I went to the Space Academy on the planet where I live. I trained for many years. We learned to fly all sorts of craft. I can fly a small solo spacecraft up to a huge mothership. And we learned to navigate the stars. We learn to pilot ships. We learn to read star maps. We learn to figure out where wormholes are in the time-space continuum. And I have been to several other galaxies besides the Milky Way in my training and after my training. So I am very well experienced in flying spacecraft, and we are very hands-on when we learn how to do this type of work. I am married, I am a male, and I have a wife who also is my traveling companion on my spacecraft that I pilot. She works on the ship, and she has been with me here the last 2 years. So I was a year on my own captaining the ship, and then it was decided that she could join me. We work well together, and her role is she is a scientist, more interested in the medical condition of humans and other ETs. And so she studies the physical bodies and multidimensional bodies of different entities that are found in this solar system at this time. And we have been together a long time. And she comes from my home planet as well. We are tall beings. I am 7 foot 2 inches in human terms tall, 7 feet tall. My wife is 6 feet 8 inches tall. We are not overly tall, but we are taller than humans. I have ears that look like elf ears. They're pointed, and my wife has elf ears. We have a bluish cast to our skin. We have large eyes. We have small noses and small mouths. We do have hair on our heads, and we tend to be, our race tends to be moderately thin, but not overly thin. There is definitely a Lyran feline DNA or genome somewhere back in time, because we look a little cattish, although we are humanoids. And we are very athletic, very nimble. Physically, I would say that we are superior to Earthlings in that regard. We can climb tall buildings very quickly if need be, and we are very physical beings. We have padding on our fingertips that act as glue. So when we want to connect to a building or a structure and we want to hold on, there is padding, and there is a secretion from the pads of our fingertips that glue us to any structure where we want to be, and we use that. So we could climb a mountain or a hill very easily using the secretion of the padding on our fingertips to go to the top of that hill or mountain. We are also very fast. So we are different than humans. We are different than Pleiadians, Arcturians, and Sirians. We are Andromedans, and there are many races in the galaxy. We are just one of many. We wear an insignia on our chests We have uniforms on our ships, the ship that I drive, which is a scientific vessel, and we wear the insignia of our home planet in the Andromeda galaxy so that we can be recognized by other extraterrestrials and in the future Earthlings. The Andromedan ships, the one that I am currently piloting, which holds 70 of us, is long in length. It is a long ship, and although it is designed for 70 Andromedans, we also have laboratories, scientific laboratories, where dissection of samples is done, meaning plant samples or other types of samples, rocks, soils. And we have 3 labs on our ship, and there are several floors to the ship, 1 subfloor, a main floor, and then another floor at the top of the main floor, which is the floor that is used for retiring, sleep, and for rest and relaxation. The workspaces are on the main central floor of the ship. Those are where the labs are. Those are where the bridge of the ship is, where the pilot is, where I am, the co-captain is. And we spend most of our time there, although we do go below deck sometimes and we go above deck sometimes. So there's 3 levels on a long, lean ship. We also have 1 2-man or 2-woman craft that is used as a scouting craft. It is held below deck, and when we want to stay close to a planet and then someone wants to go ahead and scout out another planet or to make closer contact with the existing planet, they can go in the little spaceship, which is fun to drive and very, very cloaked. It is invisible to humans. They cannot see this little ship. If anyone would be able to see this ship, it would be another Andromedan. So we wear the insignia on our chest, and we are here to, for the most part, receive information about Earth's ascension process, about the inhabitants of Earth. We are also studying Martian ruins and the colonies on Mars. We are studying all the planets, all of the inhabitants, and bringing that information back to Andromeda. Because when we study, we take samples, we analyze the samples, and then we send the information back to Andromeda. We are trying to figure out what our influence has been in your solar system, how much impact we've had with you, Earthlings, whether that is in history, space travel history, or genetically. We have seeded this planet or have been to this planet in ancient times. And some of the deposits that we made, we are collecting them now to see how they have morphed and changed. The Andromedan deposits made on planet Earth and Mars and Jupiter. We have permission to do this type of work by the Galactic Federation of Worlds. We had to apply for permission and get approved, and everything that we do is scrutinized, or it is open, meaning the data that we collect, the information that we take in, all of it is available for other beings, councils and such to go over or to examine. There is nothing that we do that is secretive. It is all in the open. I am very interested in humans. They fascinate me, to be honest. It is interesting to examine them in their mentality, in their emotions, because although we are loving beings and benevolent, we do not have the emotional range or capacity that humans have. Our emotions are more subdued and within a less of a range. And the men and the women from our star planet are much more similar than the men and the women from your home world. So we are always surprised to watch humans and find them to be quite unpredictable and very emotionally charged. And we find this interesting, as we are not like this in our temperaments. I am on this mission for 10 years. Earth time is what I signed up for. So I am in my 5th year, and after the next 5 years, a new space captain will come in and take over this ship. And my wife and I will go back to our home star, and we hope to start a family. I come from a long lineage of space captains, pilots, if you will, navigators, and I was taught how to read star maps by my grandfather, who never came to Earth, but was able to go to other civilizations in the Milky Way. The Milky Way is a beautiful galaxy, beautiful and bright, and it is a place where many ETs like to come for work or even to vacation. I do go back to Andromeda on rest trips every now and then to recharge. And when that happens, my co-pilot is in charge of the ship. We have enjoyed very much traveling around your solar system. We have also traveled to other parts of your galaxy on this mission. Because we are strictly a scientific ship, we do not get involved in the politics of Earth's ascension, but we can say that these are very interesting times and we observe with delight. We are here, and we will be here for Earth's emancipation, which is rapidly coming. There are many galactics working on your behalf. There are many galactics incarnated on the Earth working for the freedom, liberation, and emancipation of Earthlings. We are excited to welcome Earthlings into the Galactic Federation, they are making their presence known. They are there in a probationary sense or a trying out sense, but eventually Earthlings will be part of the Federation and will be traveling and visiting other worlds as we do now. And we are for that. We are happy about Earth growing up, Earthlings growing up and joining us in outer space. There is a program in the future where Earth pilots, Earth navigators, Earth captains, etc., will be sent to Andromeda to learn how to pilot spaceships and to get familiar with our technology, which is quite advanced and quite new to other parts of your galaxy. So there will be a technology transfer, an exchange of information when the time is right. And I am hoping to work in those programs, as I do have a fondness for Earthlings, although I cannot pretend that I understand the emotional range. I am very pleased that I have had a little bit to say to you today. I am hoping for the day when Earthlings can tour our ship and when we can take them down into the labs and out on a cruise, possibly to Jupiter and back. That would be a fun thing to do, and also would be good for Earthlings to open up and experience the kind of space travel that is available these days. There are only Andromedans on our ship. We meet with other races from your galaxy on occasion, usually at Jupiter, to exchange information. But our ship is really a bunch of Andromedans doing studies on your solar system. My name is, you may call me Rajek. That is close to what my name is. I am very happy to make your acquaintance, and I am very happy that the guide the channel has invited me in. We send you our traditional Andromedan greeting, and we send you our best from our planet to yours. This is Rajek signing out for now. Okay, well, that was Rajek. I want to thank him for coming in. He's an Andromedan captain who is studying the planets and the life forms in our solar system. And he's bringing that information back to Andromeda. So it's a scientific vessel, and his wife is on board as well. So anyhow, if you would like to interact with the Andromedans or the Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, the Lyrans, the Vegans, the Pegusians, I don't know how to say that, the beings from Pegasus. First of all, I will say this. If you're a Syrian, it's much easier for you to interact with Syrians. If you're Pleiadian, it's much easier for you to interact with Pleiadians because that's your direct family. However, doesn't mean if you're Syrian that you can't interact with a Pleiadian or an Andromedan. I would say if you want to see the ships, if you want to have conversations with these beings, just ask them with an open heart to make contact with you. Ask them to come in your dream state. I know a lot of you are going up on the ships at night. Probably some of you do not remember, but if you're a starseed, chances are you are being trained and connecting with your family on the ships. I myself have had like 2 or 3 memories of being on the ships. Usually I don't remember, but one time, and I think they're Pleiadian ships. One time when I finished school, it's like I graduated high school in a way. I went through a program and I graduated high school, and I went up to the ship and they had a big party for me, and it was like welcoming me and congratulating me, and it was amazing. And so that was the last time I remember being on the ship. And I dream about that. So I'm in my astral body. But if you want to go on the ships, just ask. And I know some people go up physically, like they meet these beings in the physical world and they go up physically, which blows my mind because I'm not in physical body when I go up. So, the world is your oyster. Just ask to connect, ask for healing, ask for love. And they're so benevolent, and they really want us to kind of mature and join them in the Galactic Federation and be a card-carrying member of the Galactic Federation where we can exchange information, ideas, and, brotherhood, sisterhood. So I want to thank you all for being here. I wish you the best. I pray for your enlightenment. I pray for your ascension. And I also am praying that we stay in a positive frame of mind and chase those blues away. And I want you to know that I'm very grateful for all of you. I wish you well. So thank you. Bye-bye.